Low body count.
Okay.
And
What's low to you?
Yeah, number-wise.
Like under 10?
definitely under 10.
Yeah.
Definitely
Okay.
under 10.
Under 5?
We'll go under 10.
I mean, it's a spectrum, right? The lower, the better.
Is it a ratio?
No, they're the ratio. That's BS. That's BS. But yeah, I mean.
But would you say you have a high body count?
First off, I'm a man of God, so I don't reveal my body count.
You don't have to say like a specific like number, but I'm saying, if you're being so like, oh, I don't want a girl who has a lot of
I'm gonna
bodies.
plead the fifth on answering
my
that question,
gosh.
but
Exactly.
Double
Oh,
standards.
what do you mean?
Because
What?
you don't have to say like a specific number, but have you had sex with quite a few people, like more than 10?
That's a yes.
That's a yes.
That's a yes.
No-
Okay, and
no
then
comment.
you're
No
saying you want a
comment.
girl with the lower body
Oh,
count
okay,
and stuff.
I see what you're saying. So you're saying like it's double standard kind
Yeah.
of.
Different,
Yes,
different
there is a
standard.
double
Like,
standard.
if you're really into
Double
somebody
standard.
and they have like a body count over 10,
double.
and they're your age, right? They're your age.
Yeah.
Would it be a deal breaker if you truly have a connection with them?
Well, age is a factor too. So obviously, a woman who's a bit older is going to likely have had more sexual
What are you
partners
trying to
than
date,
somebody.
like a 22-year-old or something?
Sure, I'll date somebody 22, 21. Sure.
What if you met your perfect woman and she was a virgin and she asked you your body count and that was the deal breaker for her? She wouldn't date you because you had too high of a body count.
I mean, if that is a deal breaker for her, that's fine.
You wouldn't like regret it though. Like if she like met like every single point on your list and was a virgin.
Regret what?
Like sleeping around.
I wouldn't say I really slept around a whole bunch, but
Well, you
Body
shouldn't
count over
regret
10?
it.
huh?
Well, no, but I'm saying like, well, if you know, if you
Yes,
value,
people-
like there
people
is
are-
a double standard. If you value that, then you find a woman who's a virgin, but she also prefers to be with somebody who's
Sure.
a virgin, and she could be like the
Yep.
perfect woman for you. Meets
She can
every
reject
single
me.
one
Yeah,
of your
you can reject anybody
points.
for any reason you want.
Well, no, I
There's-
know,
I don't have
There's
like
billions of people in this world, though.
But
you-
it's
like
both men and women are allowed to have preferences,
I'm-
standards, and boundaries. If there's a criteria with which a woman wants to reject me, that's fine.
I'm saying that that usually women who have low body counts or are virgins also
Perhaps. Yeah.
prefer men with low body counts or virgins.
Perhaps. Although
So you're
I would
like,
say
I'm
say
just saying you're
sure.
making it harder for yourself. Like you're decreasing your chances.
Well, I've neither confirmed or denied what my body count is, but
Yeah.
for the sake of
That's right, we're
this show, I
discussing.
feel like I probably shouldn't. But so
this card needs
And
to
I was like making the argument in general, not
but
like
here's the thing. I think
specifically
women
directed
care
at you.
far less about body count than do men, generally.
I mean,
It depends.
generally, but I was also like making the argument, like, yeah, generally, because like that's what I'm saying.
No,
Like
but-
I was saying earlier, it also depends on what kind of circles you're a part of. And so if you want to find a woman who is a virgin or low body count or whatever, then typically like you find that in like a lot of Christian circles. But those women, those Christian women, also prefer guys who are virgins or low body
But
count.
what about people who aren't Christian?
Well,
You're
I'm just
saying
saying
someone
like
that's
you're
looking for it, though.
Yeah, like if you're looking for that, then that's where you would
Well,
typically find that.
I do want to challenge you there a little bit, because there's this idea that like only conservative or religious or Christian women have some like exclusive claim to non-promiscuity and virginity. I don't think that's the case.
Well,
I
I'm
think
not saying that, just
like,
in general.
whether I agree or not with someone with their politics, like a liberal woman could be non-promiscuous,
Absolutely. I mean, there are exceptions, but like that's rare.
or like an
but
atheist,
she's
non-political
saying
woman
Christian, yeah.
could be
Yeah, it's just less likely.
non-promiscuous.
Yeah.
So
I don't think it's based on religion and stuff. Like everybody, it's
well,
Yeah.
I mean, just like
but
statistically,
I
like
would
it's
say yes. I would say that women who are religious probably lean more towards non-promiscuity than
Yeah.
their more liberal atheist counterparts. But
yeah, and I'm saying like,
but you
Ge-
don't
like
have
what-
exclusive. You don't have like exclusive. What's the word? Claim to non-promiscuity. Like
what do you mean?
He's saying that you don't have to be Christian to.
Oh no, I'm not saying that.
Butler donated $99.
Hey, Butler, thank you.
Here's why high body count make you filthy.
wow, okay, he's going for it.
Condoms do not protect against genital herpes.
True.
60 bodies equals exposure to 12 partners who are infected. 100 bodies equals
Giving
you're
us the
not
math.
clean. That's why they can't test for it in corn. It
math.
would destroy the industry.
Based. Yo, thank you, Jay Butler. Appreciate it. Yeah, definitely condoms do not prevent the herp derp and
they just prevent no children sometimes.
other STDs, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What were we talking about? I don't remember. Low body count.
Your dream girl.
Well, no, you were saying.
talking in general.
I think you were saying something about. Well, if you have been with all these people, then.
I'm just asking why your preference is that if you've been with like
Well,
who
you
knows
don't,
how
you
many
don't, you
people
don't
you've
know.
been.
You
I mean, I
know.
don't, but I'm saying.
But
like,
you're okay, sure. So let's say I did have a high body count, right?
Yeah,
So you're
but-
saying, well, Brian, you shouldn't have this preference for women who have a low body count. Is that kind of?
No. I'm
argument?
asking why is it your preference?
Oh, why is it my preference?
Like, why do you specifically want a woman like that?
With low body count?
Yeah.
I'm going to defer to Q on this because Q.
Oh, okay.
Because all the research indicates that there are gender differences between our sexual behavior. That's why we're sexually dimorphic. First of all, you have paternity uncertainty, which is women who sleep around. There's less likelihood of them knowing who the father of their child is. And to a man, the ultimate disrespect is him raising a child that's not his. He's investing in resources to help the next man's offspring. That's extremely detrimental to his genetic legacy. The second thing is women, like I said, experience a lot more sexual regret. Women come with a lot more emotional baggage. They sleep with guys, they rack up bodies. I don't know if you guys just seen Brittany Renner, but Brittany Renner just said she had 35 bodies. When she said she had 35 bodies, she said a lot of them, half of them were one-night stands. And she said she wished they hadn't have been that way. So that tells you right there that a lot of times when women sleep with a man, they want that man to like them. They want something out of that man. Mm-hmm. So if you don't get it, you become bitter. You may regret it. It may affect you emotionally. It may damage you emotionally. That's another thing. So you carry that into the next relationship that you're in. So now those guys are wondering why you are the way that you are, when in reality it's just because you don't feel valued. You don't feel validated. You gave your body to a man who didn't appreciate you, who didn't give you what you want. You knew what you wanted out of it. You didn't get it. So you feel some type of way.
I agree with you.
The next
'Cause I
thing
have
is
felt like that.
the next thing is the orgasm gap. Men have an incentive to want to procreate because we orgasm 99% of the time when we have sex. The majority of women do not orgasm when they have sex. So what did you just do? You just wasted your time. Also, women describe sex is better when they like the guy. They're attracted to the guy.
Yes.
So if you sleep with a man that you don't know, you might feel some type of way, yucky, or I wish I hadn't done this. You experience sexual disgust. So there's differences. All the research aligns with what y'all call the double standard, and that's why I say it's not a double standard. It's different standards because the standard sexual behaviors y'all exhibit are not the same standard of sexual behaviors that men exhibit.
But then you could also argue that stats prove that pair bonding happened for both men and women.
Yeah,
Higher body count a man has, also the less likely he is to pair bond.
Butler don't
Or you want?
Explain.
Let's have. Did you want to finish your point before we go on to the?
I was finished. She was saying something about pair bonding. I was just going to
pair bond.
that.
You were saying something about it?
No, I was saying the argument is that because he's saying that men and women have different reactions when it comes to sexual
Sure.
promiscuity in that sense. But stats actually show that pair bonding is something that negatively affects both men and women the higher your body count is. So it is harder for a man to actually find someone too long term. The pair bonding, it affects us both.
My understanding,
but
though, is it's more more
It
pronounced in women.
It affects women to a higher degree than men. Do you
To
know
a
why?
higher degree, but I'm saying it happens for both. You're saying it only happened to women.
No, I didn't. I never said that. I never said that at all. You just said that.
How dare you say that? How dare
Wow.
you? No. You were going to say though why?
Yeah, I was going to say, do you know what promotes pair bonding? Do you know the hormone that's involved
Oxytocin,
in? Exactly. And who typically releases more of that?
women.
Exactly. Is that simple?
Oxytocin and
Lawyer.
dopamine, are, I mean, people
It's oxytocin and vasopressin. But vasopressin, it makes us territorial. You know, oxytocin is what bonds us. And you release that during childbirth, during
Yep.
breastfeeding, when you're hugged, when you're touched. Women release oxytocin a lot more than men do.
There was a TED talk on this, and I can't remember the names of the different chemicals released in your body, but the studies showed that yes, women release this like love hormone when they have sex, but men don't. So men typically, when they have sex with a woman that they're not committed to, they might not be interested in her anymore. They might
It's just
fall out of
dopamine.
love, whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just
But so
dopamine.
for men, when men start producing the love hormone, it's once they are committed. It doesn't have to be, and in the TED talk they said it doesn't have to be like you propose or you're married, whatever. But you have to have a certain like commitment to this woman. Like you have to decide for yourself, and it is different for men and women.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She's correct.
I think it's like the matter of who views sex as a commitment. I feel like women generally
Definitely
view
women.
sex as a commitment in just a broad, like in a big generalization. A lot of women think like if I have sex with a man, like subconsciously you think he's gonna date you, he's gonna want to take you seriously. But for men, it's actually the exact opposite. Like you could argue, like she said, men don't release vasopressin until they start like carrying out like tasks and duties for a woman. Like once they start accomplishing things for her, then they'll release that love hormone. But if they're just having sex with a woman, it's never gonna come like that, because they're just not wired that way. But that's why men have more casual sex, and women, I would argue, don't have as much casual sex, because for women it's not casual. Like we attach way
Right.
more feeling to it. So like
Because you run the risk of getting pregnant at the
Mhm.
foundation.
Well, that's part of it, but it's also like the quote, women give sex for love and men give love for sex.
yes.
Word.
Yeah.